Today we're in a hotel, as you can probably see is when we come down the hallway. We're going to be cleaning the carpets. I actually got two different hotels I'm going to be cleaning today, so I'll combine the videos from two different rooms at two different hotels. This is the first hotel I've come to. This is a basic room that we usually clean in this hotel. These carpets aren't real bad. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a spot right there. There's a couple of spots over by the door. Usually nothing major at this hotel. This other one we go to usually gets a little more intense wear. But today we're going to be using a Fiber Plus pad at this first hotel, and we're using an encapsulation chemical. So this Fiber Plus pad, as the machine sprays the chemical down, it agitates the chemical. Then as it dries, the encapsulator holds the soil that we've cleaned off the face fiber, and you will use a vacuum cleaner to retrieve it. It's a very effective cleaning method for commercial carpets. I use it way more than I do extraction on commercial. You have no wick backs. The carpet will stay cleaner longer, and it's very fast, and that's, in this business, time is money. The chemical I'm using today is Incap Green by Vicaway Products, boosted with some Bright All from Bonnet Pro. Fiber Plus pad is from Bonnet Pro. Also, I have with me a product called Red Vanish. This is a very effective product that 80% of the time it takes up red without any heat. So I'll go into a room, I'll check, see if I have red, pre-treat it. By the time I get to cleaning it, then it usually comes right up. Like I said, time is money. Oh, I know that people out there say, oh, you can make something that'll take red up. Yeah. Well, first of all, it's illegal. You're not a chemist, and everything is supposed to have a label. And that label is supposed to say what it's used for. So for everybody out there that's making their chemicals, yeah, you get inspected by OSHA, see what kind of fine you get. It's illegal. It's the first thing you learn when you get certified for carpet cleaning. You're supposed to have a MSDS sheet with everything that you got in your van or vehicle, whatever type of you're driving, and all your chemicals supposed to have an MSDS sheet. If you're making it at home, you don't have an MSDS sheet. So, be a professional, buy the right chemicals. Second thing I use is Hell Gel Orange. It's great for removing gum. I can just put a little bit on there, take a bone scraper, work it in, and within a minute or two wipe it up with a rag, basically. Very effective. And all these products I use leaves no residue. The main thing of carpet resoling is chemicals that leave residue. If a chemical is not formulated to be used on carpet, you're leaving a residue. And that residue sits there on that carpet. When somebody walks across it with a dirty shoe, it cleans the bottom of their shoe, and that's how your carpet gets dirty faster. You know, it ain't rocket science, people. Just use the stuff that's made for carpets. I'm using a Trinity XM. That has an on-board spray system. If you look on YouTube or anywhere, you're going to find people that has things against this machine and the positive. Look, there's not a machine out there that's not got a negative. There's not machines out there that don't have positive. I chose a Trinity, but you could have used something else. Is it a good machine? Yes. Does it have drawbacks? Yes. They all do. But I think this one has more positives than negatives. I also have if you've seen my previous videos, I have an electric truck mount. Is there drawbacks to electric truck mounts? Yes. Is there more positives over a gas powered? Yes. Is any one better than the other? No. All forms of carpet cleaning is effective if they're done like they should be and used in situations like they should be. No one form of carpet cleaning is going to be perfect for every situation. If anybody tells you there is, they are liars. So there comes times that I have to use an extractor. I use low moisture mower, but I could use a CRB, a counter rotating brush machine, and I have one, and they're effective. I like them on pile carpets for pre-scrubbing and for encapsulating. If you're only using a wand without some type of pre-scrubbing, you're not cleaning carpet. On my extractor, if I just use a wand I'm pre-scrubbing with a CRB before I extract. When you clean carpet, you need to remember this one word, chat. That's chemical, heat, agitation, and time. If you decrease one, you must increase another. Well, first of all, you should always be using a chemical that is formulated to clean carpet, that leaves no residue, or if you're doing an extraction chemical. And look, I know there's things that you can go to a store and buy off the shelf and it will clean carpet. And if you're extracting, you probably can get away with it. As long as you know what the word pH is and you understand the stuff that you're buying is a neutral pH or doesn't exceed the pH for that type of carpet, you're going to be fine. But if you're not using something like a fiber neutralizer when you're extracting, you're leaving a residue. I don't care who you are and what you say, it's a fact. It's been proven. You have to neutralize that chemical that you put down. And I don't care if you buy an extraction chemical from John Donne or any other carpet cleaning company. You got to use a fiber neutralizer. That's a fact. Encapsulation chemicals are different. When they dry, they encapsulate, and they can be vacuumed up. They're not leaving no residue. So 90% of the time I use an encapsulation chemical, even when I'm extracting. So, and all my spotters are encapsulated chemicals. So I don't claim to know everything about carpet cleaning, but I will tell you this. If you're going to pay somebody to clean your carpet, pay somebody that's took some training and understands a little bit about the chemicals of carpet cleaning. You know, there's not a big price difference in somebody that just buys a machine and does it and somebody that really cares and takes training and has good equipment. And I will tell you this, if you go to the store and you rent an extractor and you buy the chemical and you're cleaning 1 or 2 rooms, you've paid just as much, just about, than what you could get somebody who's trained to come in and do it right. And we'll do a better job, and we'll leave your carpets in better shape. So you'll see a lot of things on YouTube. Some of it's true, some of it's not. But you can check a person out if what they're saying is true by going to places like that certify carpet cleaners. And my mind just went blank and I can't think of who I'm trying to think of right now. But I will say this, the CRI, Carpet and Rug Institute, anybody can buy certification from them. And I do mean anybody. So if you see something certified through the Carpet and Rug Institute, take it with a grain of salt. If you have enough money, they're certifying people out that certifying objects and products, and yes, looks good on the side of your van, looks good stamped on a piece of equipment, but that's about all I can say for it. And I'm going to leave it at that. But if you really want to know that you're getting someone who's took enough time to take some training and cares about what they're doing and offering their customers, then you get somebody who's certified through the IICRC, and they offer several certifications. They have certification in carpet cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, stripping and waxing, VCT tile, hardwood floor, and another thing that we're into is water restoration, fire restoration. People that take time and care enough to get certified through the IICRC is an international governing body of cleaning. Sets the standards. And them standards is recognized by insurance companies and a lot of the carpet industry mills. And like I said, I don't think a lot of the Carpet and Rug Institute, it's all about money. So that's enough of my rant today. Let's get started cleaning some carpet. Well, apparently the plug-in on there is not on. Make sure to turn it off. And we're off. Plug it up. Now I'm priming my pump. It's going to put the chemical down in front of me. Let's go back to that word we said a while ago, chat. I got off on chemical. Okay, it says chemical and then heat. Now heat's a variable that can be omitted at times depending on the dirtier the carpet, the more you want to worry about heat. And anything over 120 or 130 I say is acceptable. They recommend you be up around, some guys claim they're putting down 212 degree temperature. They're not. They're putting down about 180, 190 by the time it hits the carpet, which is great. The more heat, the better. But you can clean with less heat. Now, on encapsulation, heat's not that important because we're increasing agitation. And agitation, as far as I'm concerned, is the most important of carpet cleaning. Think about cleaning your clothes at home in your washing machine. You have a chemical, you have water, it could be cold or hot, but you have agitation in that washing machine. And time. Time is Time is another variable that can be increased and decreased depending on how dirty the carpet is. So, but if you decrease one, you need to increase the other. I try to maximize agitation to help up with, because sometimes I don't let it dwell for 10 minutes. But, and then sometimes I let it dwell longer. I'll pre-spray it twice, loosening that, letting that chemical work on the soil. But that's a good record of thumb to remember when you're cleaning carpet. Chat, chemical, heat, agitation, and time. All right, let's get started. Got to do some adjusting here real quick. All right. Let's clean carpet. I think a light just burned out on me. Alright, I want to mention that the machine I'm using is an orbital machine. And an orbital machine is different from a rotary machine. It kind of looks the same, but that's about the only thing that are same about them. An orbital will have a better scrubbing action than a rotary, but that does not mean you can't use a rotary and get the carpets clean, because you absolutely can. I have a rotary machine also. The main thing about this orbital machine, it's easier on my back. And about 8-9 months ago, I started having back trouble for the first time in my life. So it's all about protecting my back for me. I don't want to end up not able to work. I have things I want to accomplish, and I'm not going to accomplish that drawing $1,600 a month on disability. So it's about protecting my back for me. Now, I still use my rotary at times. I will say this, the rotary is easier to use in confined spaces than this thing. I could have had this room done with a rotary, but by the time I got done today, my back would have been screaming. So it's just, and when I get into big areas, like I have a complex that has about 40,000 square feet of carpet in it, and every month I have to clean about 10,000 of that carpet. I can really move on with this machine and cover some ground. All right. You know what? Alright, we're in a different hotel now. This one is usually a little more dirtier than the last one we were at. They get a little more traffic, a little harder abused carpet in this one. I didn't show last time is we pre-vacuum every room before we clean it. And today my assistant, my daughter, is going to go in front of me pre-vacuuming the rooms and prepping them for me. But we use a Mealy vacuum cleaner. Has a very high airflow, very strong suction. It has a bag. I'm not really big on bagless vacuum cleaners. I like stuff that's in a bag and we take it out, throw it away, and very neat and clean. This vacuum cleaner has different settings, so if I'm somewhere that I need to actually lower the volume of my vacuum cleaner, I can lower the volume if we're working in somewhere where volume is a problem. That's the main reason why I like using this vacuum cleaner, is the ability to lower the volume. There's other vacuum cleaners out there just as well as this one. Another thing, this is great for getting in corners because you have this handle nozzle, and if you got just a upright vacuum with a thing on it, sometimes they're not as easy to use. So that being said, she's going to vacuum this room. Now, the IICRC says that 70% of the soil's carpet is dry soil. So if you don't pre-vacuum before you clean the carpet, if 70% of the soil is dry and only 30% are the spots that we see on the carpet, then the soil that is there, you're turning into mud. It doesn't really matter if you're extracting or using low moisture. When the moisture hits it, what does dirt happen when you turn it with water? It becomes mud. So, if you think that you can just slap your wand or spray some chemical down and start cleaning, guess what? You're not cleaning carpet. You have to pre-vacuum. I don't always post-vacuum, depending on where I'm at. If I'm in a resident, I will always post-vacuum. Some businesses I post vacuum, but in a hotel, guess what's going to happen to this room? It's going to get rented tonight, and you know what they're going to do tomorrow? They're going to vacuum. So I'm not post vacuuming. It'll be vacuumed 2 or 3 times in the next week. So what I clean, what doesn't get up on the pad that I use today, will be encapsulated, and then when housekeeping comes through, they're going to pick it up with their vacuum. That being said, they probably don't vacuum as thorough as we do. But vacuuming is the most important part of carpet cleaning, period. If you don't vacuum, you're not cleaning. It's real simple. It's not something I come up with. It's been studied and proven. Vacuuming is the most important part of carpet cleaning. If you care about the job that you do, then you're going to do the right steps, and you're not going to skip anything. Behind the door, sis. Alright, now she's going to film me clean this, and then she's going to go on and do her thing in front of me. But it's really hard for me to film running the machine. Okay. As again, we're using our orbital machine, which is made by Trinity, an XM, has an onboard spray system, and I'm using a cotton bonnet made by Bonnet Pro. Cotton is very absorbent. When you use a cotton bonnet versus the Fiber Plus pad that I used earlier I was only encapsulated. That pad is not absorbent, it doesn't pick soak dirt up like the cotton pad will, so you're only encapsulating that way. This way, it's called pad cap. Your pad picks up dirt, and what's left after the pad goes over the carpet is encapsulated. So you're getting 2 methods when you clean this way. You're getting the old bonnet clean method that many people used to use, and the encapsulated. Alright. Let's pause a minute. Alright, we're in a different hotel now. This one is usually a little more dirtier than the last one we were at. They get a little more traffic, a little harder abused carpet in this one. I didn't show last time is we pre-vacuum every room before we clean it. And today my assistant, my daughter, is going to go in front of me pre-vacuuming the rooms and prepping them for me. But we use a Mealy vacuum cleaner. Has a very high airflow, very strong suction. It has a bag. I'm not really big on bagless vacuum cleaners. I like stuff that's in a bag and we take it out, throw it away, and very neat and clean. This vacuum cleaner has different settings, so if I'm somewhere that I need to actually lower the volume of my vacuum cleaner, I can lower the volume. If we're working in somewhere where volume is a problem. That's the main reason why I like using this vacuum cleaner, is the ability to lower the volume. There's other vacuum cleaners out there just as well as this one. Another thing, this is great for getting in corners because you have this handle nozzle, and if you got just a upright vacuum with a thing on it, sometimes they're not as easy to use. So that being said, she's going to vacuum this room. Now, the IICRC says that 70% of the soil's carpet is dry soil. So if you don't pre-vacuum before you clean the carpet, if 70% of the soil is dry and only 30% are the spots that we see on the carpet, then the soil that is there, you're turning into mud. It doesn't really matter if you're extracting or using low moisture. When the moisture hits it, what does dirt happen when you turn it with water? It becomes mud. So if you think that you can just slap your wand or spray some chemical down and start cleaning, guess what? You're not cleaning carpet. You have to pre-vacuum. I don't always post-vacuum, depending on where I'm at. If I'm in a resident, I will always post-vacuum. Some businesses I post-vacuum, but in a hotel, guess what's going to happen to this room? It's going to get rented tonight, and you know what they're going to do tomorrow? They're going to vacuum. So I'm not post-vacuuming. It'll be vacuumed 2 or 3 times in the next week. So what I clean, what doesn't get up on the pad that I use today, will be encapsulated, and then when housekeeping comes through, they're going to pick it up with their vacuum. That being said, they probably don't vacuum as thorough as we do. But vacuuming is the most important part of carpet cleaning, period. If you don't vacuum, you're not cleaning. It's real simple. It's not something I come up with. It's been studied and proven. Vacuuming is the most important part of carpet cleaning. If you care about the job that you do, then you're going to do the right steps, and you're not going to skip anything. Behind the door, sis. Alright, now she's going to film me clean this, and then she's going to go on and do her thing in front of me. But it's really hard for me to film running the machine. Okay, as again, we're using our orbital machine, which is made by Trinity, an XM, has an onboard spray system, and I'm using a cotton bonnet made by Bonnet Pro. Cotton is very absorbent. When you use a cotton bonnet versus the Fiber Plus pad that I used earlier I was only encapsulated. That pad is not absorbent, it doesn't pick soak dirt up like the cotton pad will, so you're only encapsulating that way. This way it's called pad capping. Your pad picks up dirt, and what's left after the pad goes over the carpet is encapsulated. So you're getting 2 methods when you clean this way. You're getting the old bonnet clean method that many people used to use, and the encapsulator. Alright. Let's pause a minute. What I'm using in this machine at this hotel, I'm using Incap Green, 3 ounces to a gallon, ½ ounce of Brightol to a gallon, and I've boosted it with Encapicide. Encapicide is a chemical that it cleans the carpet, but it also changes if there's any foul odors like smoke or whatever in the carpet. It molecularly changes the odors that are in the odor after you use Encapicide. Encapicide can be gotten rid of to get rid of skunk odors, urine odors, smoke odors, mold and mildew odors. The chemical has to come in contact with the foul odor. So if you've got odor in a pad, you have to actually get the Encapicide soaked through the carpet into the pad. And you would have to use something like a water claw to take that water up. But we're just cleaning the fiber face today. So we're going to get started.
I have no idea. We're just the people that clean the carpet, so.
Okay, what I'm doing is priming my pump. Not frying very well, so get the air out of it. There we go. Notice my machine does not grab cords. As I said before, it's an orbital machine. And when I'm on top of the cord, it won't take it up. If you have a rotary machine, you'll be slinging a lamp across it. There's two carpet burners on this carpet. You're not going to get them up. They're burning. Here's how to get carpet burners. All right, that's how you clean the carpet. Let's look at the pad now. There's a clean pad and there's a dirty pad. As you can see, when you're using a pad to pad cap with, you're pulling up dirt, and then what we didn't pull up in the pad gets encapsulated. Now, there's other types of pads out there. There's terry cloth pads, they work well. There's but a natural fiber, such as cotton or wool, is going to be the most absorbent and will pick up the most dirt. All right, that's it for today.